session, I wanted to explore how we can use the crowd to make money do good. So Ethex was set up in 2013. We're the top social investment platform in Europe. We've had... Is that better? Yeah. So we're the top social investment platform in Europe, looking at equity crowdfunding websites. And the data from Crowdsourcing, we're currently number 5. We've had 30 million invested via the platform. So we are operating in a niche area, if you like, but we're also delivering incredible results. And we're set up as a retail platform, so we're open to everyone and anyone who wants to have a positive impact with their money. So our definition of positive investing is it's about choosing to save and invest in businesses that are changing the world for the better. So we operate in areas like renewable energy. We operate in affordable housing, housing for people with learning disabilities, development finance, farming, local food, all of the areas that really we interact with as individuals on a day-to-day basis. So the aim of the platform is to bring together individuals who want to take control of their money and know exactly what their money is up to. So it's easy, or has been, perhaps it was easier in the past to think of money as a benign force. I think various scandals of late have shown us that it's not. So this is now a growing movement of individuals who are looking at the impact of their money, how they can feel a closer relationship to their money and knowing exactly what their money is doing. So it's going beyond negatively screening out, say, arms, tobacco, and it's about having a direct relationship with a business so that you can think, my money is giving me an investment. These are definitely investments. It's not charitable donations, but at the same time as your money is earning money, it's also delivering a social or environmental return. So this is what our platform looks like. Because we're a retail platform, we present all the information in a way that is understandable to someone who's perhaps just starting out making their own investments, all the way up to high net worth investors. So we have quite a range of people using our platform. Our youngest investor is 16, and our oldest investors are 90 plus. So they're really building their portfolios in the hope that will encourage the rest of their family to follow in their footsteps. As you can see on the left, we have a range of investment types on the platform. So we have savings products, ISAs, funds, equity investments, and bonds and debentures. So we hope that there's something on there for everyone, depending where you are at in terms of managing your wealth and the amount you're looking to invest. Every single product is presented in the same way, where you can see both the financial return and the environmental or social return. And within every single product, we'll be reporting on liquidity, how your investment does or does not make you a member of the business, what your voting rights are, whether it's covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. Everything that we think investors need to know to make informed decisions. This product here, Better Food, this was one that listed a couple of weeks ago. They were raising 400,000 to open a new local and organic food store in Bristol, and they raised that finance in 2 weeks on the platform. So it's both about giving individuals the chance to take control of their money, but it's also about giving businesses a platform to raise the finance that they need. And our aim in what we're doing is really to make positive investing, move it from the niche to the norm, so that every one of us is thinking about the impact of our money and is thinking about what we might like to do with a percentage of our wealth. This is a picture from one of our recent annual gatherings, not quite perhaps the millennials that we were looking at earlier this morning, but this was where we were really looking at investor motivations and investor needs. So what does the crowd need in order to engage in this space? So we were asking people to consider whether they're primarily motivated by the impact that these investments might have, or whether they're primarily motivated by financial returns, and to plot where they are in terms of their understanding and confidence. We really want people to feel that, you don't have to go to a wealth manager in order to feel that you can have control of your money. You, as an individual, can make informed decisions. You yourself can educate yourself, and you yourself can then have a direct relationship with the businesses that you're investing with. So we were asked to really look at the market and consider what some of the big challenges are and what the opportunities are. Within the positive investing marketplace, one of the biggest challenges that we face at the moment is having the range of product types that are available to suit all kinds of investors. So at the moment, there's a predominance of community share offers, charitable bonds, mini bonds. What we don't yet have in the space is any bank offering a positive current account, for example. So if you're a young person or someone perhaps who hasn't got a wealth currently that you're looking to invest, then how do you still make a positive choice with the impact of your money? Equally, when we look at the product range and what's available, currently the majority of the products coming onto Ethex are primary offers. But what happens once those primary offers have raised the finance that they need and are 5 years down the line? These are long-term investments, a lot of them, 20 years for some of them. What happens if you want to then divest? So the secondary market is an area that Ethex is currently active in. We provide a secondary market for a number of products. Greenwich Leisure Limited, for example, is a business we run the secondary market for. They're the social enterprise that has taken on a number of the Olympic Park buildings and are managing those to increase access to sport. So they have a bond listed on the Ethex platform. But that's an area that the market as a whole really needs to be exploring, is what happens 5 years, 10 years hence from there. We're working hard on that, but it's certainly not cracked yet. So in terms of the opportunities and just looking at where this sector and market is currently, each year Ethex produces a State of the Sector report to look at what's happening in this space. These are the figures from our 2015 report. So across all of these aspects of the crowd and positive investing and saving, you can see that there's been growth in every area. So whether you're looking at the money that's gone into businesses, whether you're looking at the number of people engaging in this and the crowd, or whether you're looking at the number of businesses that have received finance or through the platform. So 3.6 billion at the end of 2015. That represents about 0.2% of total financial wealth in the UK. So whilst we are niche and whilst that percentage is small, it's not nothing, and it's something we certainly want to grow. Looking at the number of investors, 1.8 million, that's currently 2.6% of the population are actively making positive choices about what their money is doing, either through how they save or how they invest. And then if you're wondering what the key was, which what I was just yesterday, then the green is savings. So that's savings in credit unions. So they're often acting in areas where it's not possible to access accounts through a bank. The blue is savings, again, in banks, so such as Triodos Bank, Charity Bank, two of the businesses we list on the site. And then the orange is the area that Ethex is particularly interested in. So the orange is direct positive investments. So that's the same kinds of investments that we've heard Syndicate Room talking about this morning. These are financial instruments that give you a return, but at the same time are delivering this social return. So just looking then particularly at the, if you like, crowdfunding space. These are the figures from 2014 to 2015. What's interesting here, I think, particularly for this conference, the biggest growth has been, if you look at the different product types, it has been the company bonds, the charity bonds, and the community shares. And these are the investment types that currently are fitting best with the surge in crowdfunding. The community shares, that's a market that almost has a longer legacy, if you like. A lot of the companies that we list offering company shares, those investments were available to the market 15, 20 years ago. So that's why having a secondary market is so vital, because of course if you invested 10, 15 years ago, your circumstances might be very different now. Equally, you might now have come into wealth, whereas you hadn't before, and actually you now want to be part of that business and that business's story. So where do we see this marketplace going? What do we think the opportunities are here? This is where we are currently, 3.6 billion. That's the 2.8 million people investing and or saving around just under 10% of their investable wealth positively. We think this marketplace could grow to 11 billion by 2020, and that's actually not hugely sort of exaggerated. That's just a growth similar to what we've seen already. So seeing the number of people coming into this and increasing at the same rate as we have currently, but it's also combined with people starting to feel more comfortable with this and putting up to, say, 20% of their investable wealth into positive savings and businesses. So it's an incredibly exciting area to work in. It's a sort of almost a joining together of what's been happening in the finance industry, what's happening in terms of the crowd and crowdsourcing, and it's people waking up to, actually, my money does have an impact. It's one of the most powerful ways I can make a difference. So we see ourselves really a bit like where the fair trade movement was 20 years ago, where people were first thinking about the impact they can have in terms of what they're buying. And we very much want to see the positive investment savings movement grow so that it does become the norm. Thank you.